Uh-oh. Ah, there we are. What's up? On the verge of disaster. Coming at you from the headquarters of On the Verge Productions. What's up, guys? Sergio here. Trying to add to the production value here. Man, look at this. I'm sitting here looking at my replay and my little hoodie thingies are all just loose and discombobulated. So, how dare you guys just let me run around looking all disheveled. So, what's up, everybody? Hadn't talked to you in a while. On the verge of disaster. Thanks to our sponsor. Where's he at? Young Ideas, Dish Network. Let me see if I can drop him in there. Yeah, let me see if I can drop him in there real quick. Let's see here. Yeah, let's see. I gotta go back and see if I can make something happen here. Bam. There, no. Well, shoot, I gotta thank the sponsor, Young Ideas Dish Network. Got a shout out to him. I'll work on that. I'll work on it. So what you're looking at right now is Grosse Pointe Blank. Grosse Pointe Blank was a movie made in the 1990s, mid-90s, starring John Cusack. Awesome John Cusack. He's done a couple of roles where his sister, Joan Cusack, which I think they're twins, but I'm not 100% sure, where they're in it together. So in this particular film, she's in it with him. You got Dan Aykroyd. You got Minnie Driver. Really gorgeous. I think she's British. Really lovely lady. So we're going to go back and forth between Grosse Pointe Blank and us and me. So for those of you here along for the ride, welcome. Welcome, welcome, welcome. Again, on the verge of disaster. So, well, I don't know where my sound's at. This isn't very good. There's sound. There's sound for a lot of people. There's just not sound for me. So while we're here, you guys can just hang out with me for a second while I oh yeah. Okay, I think I figured out sound. Fair enough. Okay. Well, we'll see if you guys can hear me. If you can't hear me, I'm sure somebody's going to tell me, right? Because I can't hear myself. So tonight we got a fun-filled show talking about culinary tales of the weekend. The angry public servants, and is it a coronaviral symptom, an allergy symptom, a cold symptom, or a flu? So a lot of good stuff going on tonight. So I hadn't seen you guys in a few days. Let's shout out to Facebook on that. Thanks, Facebook. Apparently, I don't know what I did, but I had to do like a facial recognition yesterday to get back on to Facebook. At some point during the day, I got kicked off, and then it just made me take a picture of myself. And it was like, take a picture of yourself, nobody else around you, no group picture, and send it to us. And then about 12 hours later, they put me back on. It's kind of interesting. I can't say I've had that one happen. So first time for everything, I suppose. So let's get right into it. So let's talk about culinary tales. So I've got this little grill. It's called a Primo. It's like a Primo grill. And if you've ever seen like the Big Green Egg, it's just like that. It's a ceramic grill, and the ceramic grills are supposed to be really good at holding on to heat, holding heat in. So I thought, well, let me try and smoke something, because I've used this grill a couple times over the last year and a half. Never really smoked anything. So I smoked a brisket. Now, granted, I'm going to tell you this. If you try and go and buy a brisket right now, the only thing you're going to find are expensive briskets. You ain't going to find any cheap briskets out there right now, because the cheap ones have long been gone. So we got a prime brisket, and we got a little sticker shock when we paid for it. But at that point, we're like, all right, we've paid for it. Whatever. So we did I smoked a brisket. I marinated it for like 20 hours in a bag, like in a big trash bag. Put all these seasonings and liquids and all that stuff in there and seasoned that sucker in the fridge. And then I smoked it. Now, granted, with this particular grill, if you're a grill master, it's probably not very hard. But with me, I was fighting it and fighting it and fighting it to get the flame where it needed to be, get the temperature where it needed to be. But I finally got it there. And I was a little worried. I was a little worried it wasn't going to turn out very good. Guess what? It turned into one of the best briskets I've ever had. Don't know how I did it. You know, the kid liked it. My girl liked it. My parents liked it. Her parents liked it. Her mom liked it. Everybody liked it. Everybody loved it. Even my niece, who doesn't eat brisket, liked it. So I did something really good. So now the question I'm getting is, well, when's the next time you're going to cook a brisket? Or when's the next time you're going to smoke ribs? It's like, whoa, wait. I did this on accident. I didn't know what I was doing. And now you expect me to do it again? You know, it's like, it just doesn't work that way. People like me, I'm not very skilled at that. Just because I'm big doesn't mean I know how to cook. It means I know how to eat. So I did all right. I thought I did okay. I'm excited to try it again. You know, but at the same time, some people like smoking meat and they like just hanging out, drinking a beer and, you know, all that stuff while they're just hanging out at the grill and hanging out in front, you know, whatever, hanging out on the patio. I don't know. I mean, that might be cool, but during COVID-19, when you're just sitting at home by yourself, you already do that anyways. So to me, it seems like it's more like social hour, and I can't even be social right now. This is my version of social. However many people are watching this right now, this is my version of social hour. I can't even drink right now. I'm drinking tea with lemon and honey. That's how much I can't drink right now. I've been drinking for, I don't know, however many days of coronavirus we've been sitting here dealing with it. I can't drink anymore. I'm just kind of, you know, I need something else to do. Drinking ain't cutting it. So let's see here. Let's try something here. Bam, let's go here. Well, I'm still trying to figure out why I can't figure out this logo. This pesky little logo here that I'm having problems with. So, I don't know, there's more gross point blank for you. I don't know. We're going to figure this out for Young Ideas at some point. So yeah, we did we did some grilling, you know, a little barbecuing, went swimming. In case anybody hasn't noticed, I'm starting to get that little chlorine burn, that little ashiness, you know, like where your skin's starting to burn. You know, I'm starting to get a little bit of a tan. You know, again, just quarantining, just hanging out at the house. There's not a whole lot you can do. This weather here, I don't know about the weather where you're at, but this weather here in North Texas has been insane. Because 3 or 4 days ago, we were hanging out in the pool. It was nice. It wasn't hot, but it was really warm. And then the last couple of days, I'm wearing a hoodie and like sweatpants. I don't get it. I don't get this weather. I just need to, like, it's bad enough that we're having to deal with COVID-19. Just give us something. Give us something that, like, that's ours that we know is constant. I guess Texas weather being erratic is constant. So thanks, Mother Nature, for helping us out. So let's talk about this mayor, shall we? Let's see if I can drop this thing down for this mayor here. Let's see here. So this article comes to us courtesy of the Huffington Post. This was a mayor in Walton, Kentucky. And Mayor Gabe Brown, he pretty much just laid it down to the people. He wasn't very happy. It was a social media rant that he did, and it's gone viral. And you could tell he was just fed up with people and fed up with ignorance. So he says, "Listen up, dip S's and sensible people. I might not put your ease like the governor does, but I don't care. You need to realize that this is a serious ordeal. In fact, it's a big effing deal. Stay at home." And he went on to warn people skeptical of the virus threat to treat it seriously because lives are on the line. And he says, and I quote, "If you ignore this problem, the worst thing that could happen is that your mother, father, grandmother, grandfather, aunts, uncles could die. Be responsible. If you don't, then screw you." So he, and he had actually done, he had done a viral quote a few days before that, or a viral video, talking about a story in Louisville, Kentucky, where a whole lot of people got together and were partying in the streets of Louisville, and he just called them dip S's. And he's just very like, just say it how it is, and that's cool. You know, if you're an elected official, I'm okay with that. I'm okay with the governor and the mayor telling me like, hey, just stay at home, stupid. Like, just, this is why. I'm okay with that. I don't take any offense to that. I'm okay with that. You know, I would rather our politicians and all that just tell it like it is than to sugarcoat it. If somebody knows something, or they're got inside track to something, I would rather them just tell us. At this point, we're already sitting at home. We're working from home. Some people aren't working at all. Just tell us. Just tell us. That's really what I would say is, don't sugarcoat it. Don't dance around it. You know, we originally were told that, hey, they wanted to get the government up and running by Easter. You know, that was the hope. And, you know, the quote is, it was a hope. And now it's like, no, we're going to extend it out even further. Because guess what? Nobody knows. People still don't know exactly what's going on here. We still don't know what is happening. So we're all staying here and we're hanging out. We're hunkering down. We're doing this thing together, and that's okay. You know, the one thing I have learned is that this is like the 1950s right now. If you've thought about it, you know, the banks close early, the stores close early. Some stores aren't open at all. You know, you go down the streets and people are playing in their front yard, they're cooking out, you know, they're hanging out on the porch, just having a beer, having some tea, listening to some music. Everything is very retro right now. Very good feeling. I think I was even reading an article the other day that in LA County in Los Angeles, that the smog has started to clear up, that there is no smog alerts. And that's the first time in years, maybe decades, that there hasn't been smog alerts and ozone alerts. So, you know, in some ways, you know, Mother Earth's getting a break. Mother Earth is healing herself. She's like, yes, I'm going to take advantage of this. I get a vacation from having to suffer from all this crap, all this crud. You know, the beaches are empty right now. Beach life is able to do what it does. You know, in some parks, people aren't allowed right now. So nature's able to do what it does. Nature's able to just kind of go with the flow. That's cool. I'm game for that. I think that's a good thing. I think we needed it in many, many ways. So let's play a little game here, shall we? Let me see if I can. I'm still trying to figure this thing out. I'm still trying to figure this thing out. Let's go back to Grosse Pointe Blank. Finally got that Dish Young Ideas logo back up. I was wondering where it was going to go. So let's play a little game here, shall we? We're going to call this, is it coronavirus, cold, flu, or allergies? So as you can see, these are the different symptoms that could come along with any of these 4 different occurrences, medical occurrences. So for example, with COVID-19, yes, you could have a fever measured at 100 degrees or more. With a cold, it's rare. With a flu, it could be 100 to 102. With allergies, no. Headache, sometimes with COVID, sometimes with allergies. Intense with the flu, rare with the cold. General aches and pains, sometimes with COVID, some slightly with the cold. It's common with the flu, but not with allergies. Fatigue, feeling a little tired, a little weak. Guess what? Sometimes you might feel that with COVID, maybe slightly with a cold. It's always severe with the flu and sometimes with allergies. Are you exhausted? I mean, sometimes it's going to progress with COVID, never with a cold. Common with the flu, never with allergies. Stuffy nose, rare with COVID. Hey, it's common with the cold, sometimes with the flu, and it's common with allergies. Sneezing, rarely with COVID. You know, common with the cold, sometimes with the flu, and common with allergies. Sore throat, rare with COVID. You know, common with the cold, common with the flu, never with the allergies. Cough, COVID, common. mild to moderate with a cold, you know, severe possibly with the cough, you know, with the flu, and sometimes with allergies, shortness of breath, serious infections. You could have COVID. Rarely with the cold and with the flu. Common with allergies. Runny nose. You know, it just goes on and on. Now, the funny one is diarrhea. Sometimes you could have it with COVID. Sometimes you could have it with the flu, but never with the cold and with allergies. So, I mean, as you can see, like, especially here in Texas, you know, anybody that's in all parts of the country, because spring is here and you're getting the season change and you're getting all this different junk out in the air, all this pollen. You literally can like dust the pollen off of your cars in the morning. You can get up and there's like a big yellow film. So as you can see, there's so many different things that could be the same thing. It could be COVID and it could be allergies. It could be COVID. It could be, you know, like a just a little bug, a little cold. It's so many things. And it's just, I mean, you just got to be aware and you got to listen to your body. That's probably the biggest thing, is that, you know, listen to your body. Your body's not going to lie to you. Your body's not going to fake you out. Just listen to it and see if maybe, just maybe, you can feel what's going on. And, you know, if you don't feel good, call the doctor. You know, if you really don't feel good, go to the doctor. You know, that's what they're there for. I mean, don't fight through it and don't assume it's anything. I guess in this case, it's better safe than sorry. You know, better to get it looked at and them say, nah, it's a cold, than to find out, you know, in a week, oh, you got COVID and you're probably not going to make it because you didn't take care of it. So I'm drinking tea. I hear that if you drink a lot of warm fluids, it kind of breaks up the junk going on here in your chest. So been drinking a lot of warm fluids, a lot of tea, a lot of coffee, a lot of caffeine. I mean, I'm noticing I'm drinking more caffeine because of this warm stuff that I normally drink. So it's not a good idea to give me caffeine. It's probably not a good idea for me to drink caffeine at, you know, 9:30 at night on a Tuesday. It's Tuesday, right? Am I the only one that is not? It's the end of the month, by the way. My background is sales. I didn't even realize it was the end of the month until about 2 hours ago. Is anybody else just not on schedule anymore? Like, you don't know what day it is. You stay up really late at night for no reason whatsoever. You have this weird schedule where you just can't seem to get on. Like, you're always off. Somebody even posted, does COVID-19 stand for the amount of pounds that you're going to gain during the self-quarantine? Because apparently it's easy to pack on the pounds. I haven't really weighed myself lately. I weighed myself last week and I was good. I haven't weighed myself yet this week. So I'm kind of worried because, yeah, you do put on pounds, and whatever cardio you're doing is not the same as going to the gym. Like, if you're used to going to the gym and getting on a treadmill or getting on elliptical or something, just walking through the neighborhood's not doing it. I mean, maybe it'll help maintain it, but it's not getting you there. I'll tell you that much. It's just not. I know it's not. I'm pretty sure it's not. I have been swimming though, so hopefully that helps. So let's get down to scary time. Let's get down to some scary time here. Let's see here. I have this book I've been reading from. The Ghost Stories of Terrell, Texas. Ooh, Terrell, Texas, where I live. Terrell, Texas, home of Jamie Foxx. So Terrell, Texas is definitely something that, you know, is near and dear to my heart. So let's, and this town was made in the 1800s. So there's all kinds of scary, spooky stories. So let's go down. Let's, here, let me let you watch Grosse Pointe Blank for a second while I set this thing up. Hold on one second. Hold on. Oh, wait a minute. Nobody can see me because I haven't. This is my scary look. Yeah, I always like to do this. You remember when you're around a campfire and you're like doing scary stories and you got the light and you're like, yeah, that's what we're doing here. So let's look at this story here. Let me find it. Okay. So this one here is about a building called the Warren Building. Warren. Can I say it? Warren Beatty? Warren Building. I can't really roll my R's. So let's do the Warren Building here. Here's a quote from Robert A. Heinlein. There is no conclusive evidence of any sort of life after death, but there is no evidence against it. Soon enough, you will know. So why fret about it? Good one. Senator Robert Warren gave rise to this building in or about 1897. Warren practiced law in offices on the second floor, while the first floor was home to the famous Hat Company. Later, the ground floor would be occupied to many businesses, including drugstores, furniture stores, and even a gun store. In more recent years, it was given a facelift from a local architectural design expert, Davis Griffith Cox. Professor Griffith Cox is a bit of a local celebrity, as he is an eccentric character born and raised in Terrell, along with generations of his family. In future books, we will be sure to talk about Griffith Home Place Museum and paranormal events we experienced during our investigations. Those stories would fill an entire book on its own. To make this section of the book easier to categorize when referring to the Warren Building, we will discuss the original Warren Building and the adjacent building. In other words, considering spirits don't see walls for them, for the purpose of ease, we don't either. The Warren Building's facade is as beautiful and intriguing as many other storefronts lining Moore Avenue. Moore Avenue is the main street. It has character of its own and boasts its own unique set of paranormal phenomena. Currently, the two buildings are home to a coffee shop, barbershop, appliance store, boutiques, and residential lofts. It is also zoned for residential or bed and breakfast status. Our beloved Lizzie is believed to have been photographed there by occupants of the buildings. Several tour guests have claimed to have captured her apparition in photographs, and others have claimed to have seen her staring out while she stood in an upper floor window of the Warren Building just briefly before disappearing. Although her manifestation is common in the Warren Building, the Anderson Building, found directly across the street, has generated enough reports of the young lady it will make your head spin. Her presence is quite common here, and her apparition is often so vivid, onlookers first mistake her for a lost little girl instead of the spirit that she is. People often speak of other spectators that they have seen here, and they are just as odd. There was once a bakery in the building that had several ghostly encounters of a single spirit that visited the first 2 weeks the business was open. The employee reporting the story would be in the kitchen. She would hear the door chime and look up to see a woman dressed in Victorian era clothing, complete with hat and gloves, enter the building. The lady would walk to the couch, sit down, and remove her gloves. Hurriedly, the employee would approach the woman to see if she could help the first customer of the day with a cup of coffee. Yes, as she approached, the woman just suddenly disappeared, leaving no trace of her existence other than this story. Ooh, that's kind of scary. There appears to be a small area between the Anderson Building, Old City Hall, and the Warren Building where ghosts garner enough energy that they manifest themselves as apparent as you or I. It is highly unusual to have so many similar reports of such solid apparitions in one area. If there is a ley line at or an elevation of electromagnetic energy in the spot, possibly. Is there? Possibly. I'm over here trying to read in the dark, people. Give me a break. Nonetheless, we are happy these ghosts have decided to use it to their own benefit. It certainly makes for a great, if almost unbelievable, story. There is another apparition who tends to appear in this building, and he is affectionately referred to as the cowboy. He has been seen so clearly and so often that one witness was able to identify him in a photograph taken circa 1930 when the building was the famous Hat Company. We stumbled upon several pictures shared via social media during the restoration of the Warren building. As so often occurs in these old buildings, there are usually several changes that need to happen before a place can be open to the public. This was the case on the second floor of the building. I mention this because we can assure you that there was no contamination by anyone but those working in that space. However, the sawdust left to settle on the floor the night before had been strangely imprinted by cowboy boots. Ooh. As is often the case, renovations in old buildings appear to generate higher reports of potential paranormal activity. Our research uncovered a recent story about the strange misplacement of blue painter's tape that was being used to mark the walls for remodeling. Mysteriously, sometime during the night, the tape had been removed from the carefully measured areas and replaced randomly in obscure places. Workers would arrive to find blue tape placed on the staircase, windows, floors, and other bizarre areas where it was not needed. This resulted in the requirement of exact replacement of the tape in preparation for painting. The Warren building is adjacent to residential lofts, and some renters have recounted their own stories to us. It is common for disembodied voices to be heard, whistling and other mysterious sounds made by someone unseen. One resident couple reported a large painting hanging above their bed was removed from its place on the wall and found the next morning on the floor, leaning against the opposite wall. Another resident expressed concern because she often finds her 2-year-old sitting in front of the bedroom closet while babbling toddler speak for great lengths of time, as if someone invisible was entertaining him. To make matters stranger, the resident states that the child's eyes follow some unseen object around the room. Either one of these behaviors would be considered eerie by themselves, but to make things more bizarre are the sudden intense cold spots that suddenly appear in the same area by the child's mother. Ooh, freaky. I know these buildings. I've been in these buildings. I've actually been in these buildings at night. That is kind of scary. I'm not even going to lie to you. So, hold on. I threw the book down. The book again. Let's show it in the dark. Ooh. There's the book here. The Ghost Stories of Terrell, Texas. Yeah, they do a ghost walk. They're not doing it right now, obviously because of COVID, but they do it every week during the spring and during the summer. It's coming up soon. Let's get us some light again, shall we? Bring us back to normal. So, as you can see, John Cusack is kicking some guy's ass. Quite well, I might add. So, the story here is that John Cusack returns to his hometown for his high school reunion. I believe it's his 10-year reunion. And Minnie Driver is the local radio DJ in this little town. And that's a girl that he dated in high school. He had a crush on her. So he is an assassin. He hasn't been seen pretty much since graduation. And he is an assassin who's going back to his high school reunion to try and rekindle an old flame. And at the same time, other hitmen are trying to kill him because they finally know where he's at. Like, hey, they know that he's here at this place for these hours this day. So he is about to kill somebody. Oh, he just killed this guy with a pen. With like I think a really nice pen. So yeah, Gross Point Blank. It's like a comedy. I mean, it is considered a comedy. It's not really gruesome. I don't even know. Is it rated R? Ooh, I think the girl Minnie Driver. She just saw what he did. So she's like, oh, you just killed somebody. So yeah, check it out. It's a good movie. It was released in 1997. You have John Cusack, Minnie Driver, Alan Arkin, Dan Aykroyd, Joan Cusack, Hank Azaria. I forgot Hank Azaria was in it. I believe he's one of the hitmen. So this is HBO Comedy West. I've got 14,000 channels, I think. So I appreciate them. At times like this, gives me a talking point. Oh, look, there's a Jeremy Piven. Oh, you missed it. There was a Jeremy Piven sighting. Which, okay, there he is right there. Here's one thing I do know about Jeremy Piven. He didn't have hair in the early 90s, late 90s. And then in Entourage, which was 2005, 2006, suddenly Ari Gold had hair. So is he like a Hair Club for Men member? Like, what happened? What happened with him? Good actor, that Jeremy Piven. So let's go back here. let's see what do we got? So, I mean, that's it. I think we've just I think I've covered everything I was going to cover tonight. So, the goal is to try to do this thing several nights a week. Like I said, I didn't get to do it last night because Facebook literally blocked me halfway through the day yesterday. And by the time they came back up, it was midnight. I'm like, I'm not doing that. So we're going to try and do this a couple of times a week. We're increasing the production value. We're giving you some more stuff to look at, some more stuff to listen to. So I'm excited. You should be excited too. So let's give you one last shot of Grosse Point Blank. They're getting rid of the body. Oh, they're going to put it in the furnace. Ooh, they're going to put the body in the furnace. That's nice. They're going to throw it in the furnace. And I think Jeremy Piven's the guy I went to high school with. Yeah, let's just throw this random dead body in the furnace. Nobody will ever know. Right? Yeah, whatever. The life of a hitman, I guess. So that's going to wrap us up for the night. Let's say thank you to the sponsor, Young Ideas Dish. Gary Young over at Young Ideas in Wills Point, Texas. He can take care of you with internet and with Dish Network satellite service, as well as any of your Google Home products, Nest and the Google Home and all that good stuff. So if you need anything, hit up Gary. You got his phone number, 903-560-9150. Tell him you saw it on The Verge Productions, on the verge of disaster. He'll hook you up. He'll give you a little special discount just for coming from me. So on behalf of myself and my sponsor, Young Ideas, we are on the verge of disaster, and we will holler at you guys next time.